Hello my yoga friends, welcome to today's class with me, Emilee. Today's class is going to be a vinyasa flow. We're going to be going into eagle pose as our peak pose. I'll be creating a sequence that utilizes a lot of eagle arms, and we're going to be taking a frog pose at one point in the class. And for that pose in particular, I like to have a bolster to rest on for a more restorative feel. If you do have a pillow available, I encourage you to grab that. If you have blocks or a strap or anything else, a blanket that you like to utilize in your practice for more comfort and support, I encourage you to grab that right now and meet me on your mat. So today we're going to start in a seated position. Our first option is to stay with our legs crisscross applesauce. Or we're going to cross the right leg over the left. If you like a blanket under your sits bones here, or to prop yourself up in any way. Otherwise, we're going to start here. Left leg's on the ground, underneath, right leg is crisscross over top. We're going to walk our shoulders down and away from our ears, reach our crown long towards the ceiling. We can have our hands gently resting on our knees to begin. Find a soft gaze or a drishti off the tip of your nose. Start to lift through the pelvic floor by drawing your navel to the spine. Bringing awareness to our breath, just breathing naturally, noticing the rhythm of our natural breath. If we want to work in some pranayama or ujjayi breathing, we're going to restrict on our exhale. So inhaling through the nose. We can keep our lips pressed together, restrict through the back of the throat as we exhale. Sounding like the waves of an ocean here on our exhale. Inhale. Expanding through our rib cage and our belly as we exhale. Creating that restriction and awareness. If it's in your practice to take the ujjayi breath, go ahead and continue that throughout this class. We're going to inhale our arms up and exhale, left arm over the right, coming right into our eagle arms, having our palms together, squeezing the arms together. Inhale, reach towards the ceiling. Take your gaze high for a light back bend. And releasing the arms. You can allow your hands to fall to your sides. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, release the arms and clasp them behind you, opening through the chest, opening through the shoulders. Slight bend in the back as we look up. Draw your navel towards your spine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist your right side. Plant your left hand on the outside of your right knee and twist over the right shoulder. Imagine wringing your spine like a sponge here. Grow on your inhale, and as you exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale back to center. And exhale, release the cross. crisscross on the other side. And setting ourselves up, we had a little longer on the opposite way as we set up our Ujjayi breath. So inhale, arms up, and exhale, right arm over left, crisscross for eagle arms. Finding your drishti or your gaze softly past your hands. Inhale to find extension. And exhale to settle into a slight back bend. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, arms to sky. Taking a back bend. Inhale. And as we exhale, clasp the hands behind us. Walk your shoulders down away from the ears and clasp your hands. Present your heart. Inhale, arms to sky. Exhale, twist your left side, right palm presses against the left knee to twist a little bit more. Inhale, finds length. And exhale, finds a deeper stretch. Inhaling your arms back to center. Exhale, release, untwist. We can come onto our knees. Walk our knees as wide as the mat. Bring your toes to touch. Press through the hands to send your hips back to rest. On the heels, walk your arms out in front of you. And bring your third eye to the mat. Extend through your arms. Breathing into the sensations. I invite you to stay here in child's pose. Take this time to set an intention for yourself, for this class, maybe for the day. And moving forward throughout the class, all of my poses and cues are simply suggestions. I invite you to listen to your body and practice in the way that's most suitable for you, what feels right. We're going to get active and press up through our tabletop. We're going to lift up through our toes and come into a high plank. Our shoulders are stacked over our wrists. An option is to have blocks under our hands here for a little bit more wrist support. Micro bend in the elbow and draw your navel towards your spine. Ground through the left toes as we lift the right knee off the ground and send it forward towards the right elbow. Exhale, release. Inhale, left knee to left elbow. Take a breath cycle, and on your next exhale, release. Send back to downward facing dog. Say hello to your first downward facing dog of the day. We're going to press through our hands, all four corners of the hands. Allow your shoulders to roll open, your forearms to roll towards one another, and send your heels towards the back of the mat. We can take a generous bend in our knees and walk our belly to rest on the top of our thighs. Allow your neck and your head to release. And then slowly straighten through the knees, feeling into your downward facing dog. You're welcome to find movement here, pedaling out your feet or bending your knees. We're going to send our weight forward. Shifting to the left side of the body, you're going to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, coming into a side plank. An option is to have our left knee lowered here. Making sure to lift through the left side body, not dumping the ribs towards the ground. Pulling our navel to our spine. Or we can have our feet stacked on top of one another. On our next exhale, lowering the right hand. And let's switch to opposite side, coming onto the knife edge of the right foot, either dropping your knee or keeping your hips lifted. And on your next exhale, lowering that left hand to the mat. Send it back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and breathe here. I'm just going to close the window. I have some construction outside. And breathing into your downward facing dog. Bend your knees a good amount. Look forward and walk towards the front of your mat. Coming in to a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Let your head and neck hang. And ground through your feet here as we inhale to reverse swan dive. Swooping our arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here in your Tadasana. Grounding through the four corners of your feet, rolling through your joints, giving yourself a foot massage from the earth below. Energetically lift your knees, find a micro bend in your knees so we're not locked out. Feet are hip distance apart. Draw your navel to your spine, engage your pelvic floor. Maybe coming back to Ujjayi breath. Inhaling, arms up. Exhale, press to your feet as you fold forward. Inhale, present your heart. You can bring your hands to your shin. And exhale, plant your hands. Step back to high plank. You can lower your knees to the ground or find your chaturanga. Bend your elbows and lower your belly and hips to the earth, leaving your chest and neck lifted. Look forward for cobra, baby cobra. Inhaling, and as we exhale, tucking our toes and sending our hips back to downward facing dog. Inhale, looking forward, step, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Present your heart for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse your swan. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale to present your heart. Exhale, step back into your chaturanga. Find your vinyasa flow. Coming into an upward facing dog or a cobra, choosing your variation, and meeting me in downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg to sky. Exhale, look forward to step it through. Frame your right foot. Drop your left knee. Coming in for a crescent lunge. And we're going to swoop our arms into our eagle arms here. Pressing the palms of our hands together. Energetically send your right hip back and left hip forward. And lift our hands slightly. Find a slight back bend. Keeping our right knee stacked over the right ankle. And inhale. Arms to the sky, and exhale, frame the right foot. Tuck the toes and send that right leg back to the sky. And release to your downward facing dog. If you'd like to have a blanket available for extra support under your knee in crescent lunge variation, I encourage you to use that. Inhale, left leg to sky. And exhale, step it through, framing that left foot. And lower your right knee to the mat. Coming up for a crescent lunge, low lunge here. And swooping eagle arms, right arm over left. Finding your drishti, stacking your left knee over the left ankle. And taking a slight back bend. Inhale, arms to sky. And exhale, frame your left foot. Send your left foot back to the sky. And meet in downward facing dog. And let's take 3 breaths here. Breathing into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, looking forward, step hopper float to the front of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Walk your left hand to the outside of your right foot. And extend your right arm opening to the right side. You can have a bend in your knees as much as you need here. Or have a block on the outside of your left foot. And your next exhale, lowering the hands to the earth. Center yourself through forward fold. Walking your right hand to the outside of the left foot, open to the left side of the room. releasing, release into your forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, present your heart. Exhale, step back, find your chaturanga. Meet me in your downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it forward, lower your left heel, and come up for warrior one. Extend through your left leg and stack your right knee over your right ankle. You can keep your arms here, or you can bring your left arm over your right for eagle arms. Hinging forward at your right hip if you like, bringing your forehead to rest on your thumbs. Release your arms and send your arms back to airplane. And inhale, back up through your warrior one. You can straighten through your right knee. If you have blocks, we can frame our right foot with them. Or we can just go ahead into our warrior three, pressing into the right foot, shifting our weight forward, and lifting our left leg to the sky. If you'd like to bring in your eagle arms here, you're welcome to for an option, or to lift your arms. Just staying where you feel the most supported and balanced. You can bring your hands to wrap around your right calf, or simply rest your arms on the block. And on your next exhale, lower the right leg back to the earth. Frame that right foot. Pivot on the left and send your right leg back to the sky for three-legged dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a moment to come back to your breath here. Inhale your left leg to the sky, and exhale, step it through, lower your right heel, coming up for warrior one. Extending through your right leg, pelvis is neutral forward to the front of the room. Shoulders down away from the ears, and knit your rib cage in. If you'd like to add in the eagle arm, swoop your right arm over left. Press your palms together. We can stay lifted, or we can hinge slightly forward, shifting our weight to our left foot. And on our next exhale, we can bring our hands to our blocks, kick in through our left heel, and kick up through our right leg. Coming into warrior three. Pressing through the four corners of your left foot. welcome to take eagle arms, airplane arms, maybe one arm. Practicing your balance. Find a dristi or a gaze a few inches in front of the mat. On our next exhale, bending through the left knee, bringing the right toes to the earth, and send your left foot back to down three-legged dog. And exhale into your downward facing dog. Go ahead and bring your knees as wide as your mat, bring your toes to touch, and send your hip back for child's pose. Connect with your Ujjayi breath here and take 3 cycles of breath. Pressing it through your hands and coming up through your downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, step, hop or float to the front of your mat, meeting me in Tadasana. So exhale to forward fold and inhale, reverse swan dive. We're going to come into our peak pose of eagle. I'm going to face you, starting on the top of your mat. Start with your feet about hip distance or a little bit closer. You can ground through both feet here, activating your foundation for Tadasana. Reach the crown to the ceiling, activate your core, feeling strong, powerful and grounded into the earth. Shift the weight into your left foot, micro bend in the left knee. Ground through the 4 edges of your left foot and lift your right leg. Crisscross it over the left. You can wrap your right foot behind your left calf. We have several options here. You can keep the right foot on the ground and cross it right over to the left ankle. Or you can take an option of a figure 4. And crisscrossing, finding what's comfortable, making sure not to cross over the left knee. And rooting through the left foot, growing tall. We can keep our arms here, or we're going to inhale and exhale. Left arm comes over the right into our eagle pose here. And we can stay tall. If we lose our balance, find our dristi or a soft gaze at a non-moving object. If you like, you can hinge forward and bring your binds towards one another, balancing through your left foot. Or staying tall. On our next exhale, unwinding the arms and unwinding the leg. And go ahead and shake it out. If you have water, I encourage you to drink water at any time through the class. I'm building a lot of heat. I'm in a humid, hot environment. It's almost October here in Hawaii, but we're still in summer mode. And let's ground through our feet. Pressing through the right foot, micro bend in the right knee. Shift the weight and lift the left leg, cross it over, finding your option or variation. Keeping your arms where they are, inhale them up, and exhale, cross the right arm over left, pressing your palms together. The weight is strong in your right foot. Finding your drishti to keep your balance. We can hinge ourselves together. Or staying straight. Just breathing into the sensations and noticing any differences or similarities from one side to the other. And on your next exhale, release your arms and release your feet. And go ahead and shake it out. Great job, everyone. And coming back to the top of our mat. Inhaling our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, present your heart. Exhale, let's find a vinyasa flow. Meeting me in downward facing dog. Breathing here. I'm just going to switch my sides. Inhale your right leg to the sky, and as you exhale, step it on the outside of your right foot. My blanket was in the way. I'm going to come into a lizard pose. We have an option to lower our knee here, to put blocks under our hands. And allow our left hip to sink down. You could roll onto the knife edge of the right foot, allowing for opening in the right hip. You have another option to walk onto your forearms, if that's what you feel is great today, or staying high. Wherever we're at, rolling onto the flat part of our right foot, tucking our left. Send our left foot forward, and let's come into a Malasana squat. If your block's available, you can rest it under your sits bone. Use your elbow to press your knees away from one another. Pressing through our hands, lifting our bum and sending our right foot back, setting up for a lizard on the left side. You can keep your right knee lifted, or you have the option to lower it. Rolling on the knife edge of the left foot, staying on your palms, or lowering down to your forearms. And honoring wherever you're at and settling in here. part of your left foot and step your right foot forward, coming back into that Malasana squat. Using your elbows to draw your knees outward, allowing your sits bones to reach towards the ground and neck to be long, gaze be soft. Taking a moment to center yourself, maybe coming back into your intention, catching up with your breath. And releasing our hands, we're going to walk our knees back as wide as our mat. I encourage you to have a blanket here for support under your knees and a bolster or a pillow. We're going to walk our knees wider than the mat, coming into a frog pose. I'm going to have a bolster to rest our torso on. Reach your arms long. You can have your cheek resting on the mat or on your bolster. And if we don't have a bolster and this isn't feeling very comfortable, I encourage you to take a child's pose or any other form or variation of a pose that you'd like to restore and check in, breathing into any sensations. Let's take another cycle of breath here. Pressing through our hands, walking yourself up, removing our bolster. Walk our knees underneath us. I'm going to remove my blanket. We can crisscross our ankles and come to a seated position. Gently clasp your knees, maybe rolling on to our back side. Walk our feet towards our glutes here. And rest your hands on the earth. If you have a block available, you might want to use it for a more restorative version of bridge pose. Grounding through the heels, lift up our pelvis and hips towards the ceiling. Here you can slide a block underneath your sacrum. Try not to rest it on your lower back, just directly underneath your sacrum. Or without the block, we can clasp our hands underneath us, walk our shoulders slightly underneath us, and send our hips to the sky. Energetically squeeze your inner thighs towards one another, activating the glutes. When you're ready, slowly lower down to the earth. Hug your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Smooth out through that lower spine, feeling into your body. Grab behind your hamstrings and start to gently roll yourself up. We're going to come into a boat pose. Open through the front of the body, neck is long. You can stay here with support, holding on to your hamstrings, or you can reach your arms out in front of you, point your toes, roll your shoulders down and away. Make sure you're not dumping into the spine. And grabbing through the back of the hamstrings, we can slowly lower back down to the earth. Bring our feet together and open our knees for a reclined butterfly pose. You're welcome to have blocks resting under both of your knees. You can have your palms gently resting on your belly or on the earth. Maybe sending yourself some extra love, breathing into sensations and increasing your awareness. Connecting with your breath and releasing into the pose. Maybe gently bringing one knee up and the other. Bring your feet on the earth. Extend through the left leg. Bend your right knee and bring your right knee to the outside of your right rib cage. Hugging into the knee with your right arm. You can have the knee up towards your armpit, allowing for opening. Bring your knee back to center, extending it straight and bringing your left knee up into your left elbow towards your armpit, allowing for opening. Maybe walk it down and around your left rib cage. And walking your knee back to center. And then straighten. Bend both knees. Grab outer edges of your feet. And come for a happy baby. Maybe rocking side to side. Playful baby. Extending a leg or both legs. And settling into this pose. Breathing into your sensations. Gently walking your knees together, hugging your knees into your chest, and then extending your legs out to the earth. Settling in for our Shavasana, corpse pose. Allow your knees to roll gently open. Walk your shoulders underneath us, and you can have your palms facing the ceiling or towards the earth. You're welcome to release your Ujjayi breath. Allow your breath to become normal. Gently close your eyes or gaze off the tip of your nose. Release the tension in your face. Relax your jaw. Take a swallow, maybe lick your lips, and release the space between your eyebrows. We're going to sit here for the next few moments. I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana, but if you'd like to be finished for today, you can exit the class as well, but I will be guiding us out of Shavasana. So go ahead and release into the next few moments. And I invite you to stay laying down, maybe breathing awareness into your body. I'm going to be reading a quote that I found this week that I absolutely love. We are far now from home and weary of our travels. The sun is setting and there is no destination in sight. Yoga is a lamp lit in the window of our home, dimly glimpsed across spiritual wilderness in which we wander. At a time when we could not feel further from home, yoga reminds us that we are already there, that we need to simply awaken from our dream of separation, our dream of imperfection, and allow this to awaken you, to be a light that shines in the darkness, guiding you through your days, pointing you home. Rolf Gates from Meditations from the Mat. Oh, taking that in, I invite you to make subtle movements, maybe your fingers and your toes, and taking all the time you need. Bending your knees into your chest and rolling onto your favorite side, taking a fetal position. When you're ready from this fetal position, pressing yourself up into an easy seat, joining me with hands over heart center. You can have your eyes closed or you can keep them softly open. I want to thank everyone for showing up today for yourself and joining me in this wonderful vinyasa practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Bye everyone.